The players, the personalities who come from around the world to play professional soccer in the United States.
Go, go, USA! Oh, it's incredible!
In a world where some call it football, football, or soccer, they dare to call it foosball. One thinks New York is blue, the other thinks New York is red. Soccer in America from a German perspective. Let them put some sauerkraut on your hot dog and join them for the Schnitzel Boys USA Hour.
Yeah! Hey, Bjorn!
A new era.
New era. When was the last time you had sauerkraut on a hot dog? When was the last time you put sauerkraut in your hot dog?
Oh, all the time. I mean, I guess it's months, not weeks. But yeah, when I go to Katz's Deli, I get a hot dog with mustard and sauerkraut. Yeah, delicious.
Oh, nice. Nice. Oh, I haven't been to Katz in forever.
I put sauerkraut on anyone's hot dog if requested.
I was gonna say, hopefully they request it. It's not like you're in the Central Park next to the hot dog guy.
I'm
being
not
like,
just-
and here's your sauerkraut.
No. I'm not. I don't carry a sauerkraut
Mobile.
jar in my travels just to
have a
randomly
mobile.
slather it on people's hot dogs unasked. No, that's not what I do. I'm not insane like that. But
Well,
I do
every
like
German
sauerkraut.
has a mobile sauerkraut unit ready to go at any moment to
I guess
offer
so.
condiments.
Now look, my cat wants to say hi.
I was gonna say, is that a kitty cat or a doggy
Yeah,
dog?
it is. Hello,
Oh,
Matt.
that's so funny. What does she think of the new Poch era? So I don't know.
Yeah,
the
what
new
do you
era has
think?
begun.
Oh, she's walking away. She's not up.
Like in the beginning of 2001.
Tell me everything. Has it been everything? You've been through so much. I've had to listen to you complain about the previous coach. What's his name? Anyway, so was it everything you
Fire.
was it everything? Oh yeah, Greg got a new job. Greg is in charge of the Chicago Fire. Yes.
Just like Jürgen Klopp, Greg is charge of Chicago Fire Worldwide Soccer Company or whatever.
That's right.
And he's the football, not the head coach, mind you, just the football director. Or is he the head coach?
No, he's both. He's
both.
everything. He's everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
He has he's got the keys to the car. The nice thing, I mean, I guess he likes those kinds of jobs where expectations are at rock bottom, and so
and people can pat him on the head. Yeah.
So I think it's not gonna take a whole lot for him to improve the Chicago Fire. But anyway, that's not what we're here. We're not going backwards. We're going forward in the new era with Maurizio Pochettino, the guy who everybody wanted, who you willed this, you manifested your desire of him being the coach of the U.S. men's national team into being. It has happened. The first game was played. Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Yes, it was. It was amazing. Like you laugh, but Bjorn, for whatever reason, under Greg, we lost to Panama 3 out of our last 4 games, including 2 very important ones. So it's just like, it's like little baby Panama with their, a team made up of USL and MLS guy. Poch finally figured out how to beat them. So well done. We had a good team goal in the first half, and we had a great Ricardo Pepi sort of counterattack, and then right there towards the end, a solid 2-0 home victory. I'll take it. I mean, how much was Poch going to do? He's only been with the team for 4 working days or whatever it was, 4 or 5 working days. How much is he really going to do with them? But the big revelation, or not the big one, but I'm a man online, and it's interesting to see the online response to all this, which is a very important part of, I believe, the U.S. soccer sphere. Tim Ream said something that hit the internet waves. Do you know what I'm referring to?
The 2-hour thing?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh my God. My thoughts on that was that people don't know how this works.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how it works. So I don't know
Practices
how crazy that is versus how not crazy that is.
Practices are 90 minutes.
Oh, so just
The end.
well,
That's all.
under
There's-
Clinton,
If
they
they're
did
out
2
there,
days.
if they're out there for 2 hours, then that's unusual. Yeah,
It's an
that's
extra
all
half
he
an
was-
hour. But
That's all he was saying. They do other stuff.
Hold on, but
It's also,
what is it? Klinsmann 2 a day. What does that mean?
well, then they do 90 minutes twice, or
Well,
they
then,
do,
but hold on, but then that
or
means
they
typically
do
we're playing.
1 hour twice. They also have, there's other stuff. There's video sessions. The players do their own programming with their physios. That's happening. There was a good article in the Athletic a couple weeks ago about how Arne Slot has a slightly different schedule for people. That kind of broke this down. You know, people show up at 9:30 in the morning. So it's not like these people don't do anything, but training units are 90 minutes generally, or shorter maybe if you have if there's a game coming up. But that's generally how this works. So it's unusual for them to be out there for 2 hours, but it's not. This doesn't mean like they weren't practicing before and now they've just been playing video games in the
So you're
previous
saying
regime.
all
No.
Poch did was add 30 minutes to the group sesh or whatever.
Well, I guess, and it didn't sound like this was going to be a regular thing. This was just to get to know people and.
Well, either, but like you said, I've never been in bed with a national team, so I don't know the norm. But the fact is the Poch era is beginning. So it's not like he doesn't have, like you said, coaches don't have a magic wand. And Poch is there, like his roster was very on the nose. There were no big shocks or surprises. He called in an appropriate roster.
Right.
And then he only had 4 work days with them or whatever to get him ready for Panama. And I thought they did a passable job. There was no 6-0 bounce back like when Bruce was first hired. I think the first game was against Panama in Orlando, if memory serves.
Oh, is that
and
true?
they won
Okay.
6-0. They just destroyed them.
Ah.
And it's just like, hell yeah, Bruce, the anti-Klinsmann. Let's do it. And then we don't need to expand on what happened after that. But there was there was no big bounce back. But what I will say is overall, the U.S. played a very confident game. They held the ball, they moved the ball, they controlled the game. There weren't a lot of chances, but the one goal they did have was a really fun team goal, and the second goal, like I said, with Pepe. So I was like, there you go. I mean, what more do you want? It's the first game, moved in a couple days. There you go. I think the game down in Mexico tomorrow is going to be much more telling.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Because
Well, I mean, he clearly no. Go ahead. In addition.
Well, yeah, all I was going to say is the other big news today is he let 6 of his players go early.
Yeah, everybody went back. I think that's another thing that he said. Yeah, he said that he was going to be very conscientious as a former club coach. I guess he's very conscientious about returning. How did he put it? Returning the players the way that they came. They're not going to. Yeah. He's not going to look to.
Well, he broke 5 of them. Pick up the 6.
Well, but I think they already had sort of knocks, or he's. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how to read that exactly. There was some, he wants to have a good relationship with the clubs. He wants the clubs to, I don't know. I'm reading into it maybe that he's trying to get people, improve people's standings in their clubs because a lot of the players don't play that much,
right?
And so,
well, so with that, everybody was injured. They sent him back, and that's like
right.
Weston McKennie was injured, except for Christian Pulisic, our star number 10 man or whatever. He sent him back just because the rumors are that the Fonseca said that if the game is on Tuesday, he doesn't have enough rest. I'm going to bench him if he doesn't come back.
So they send him back. Yeah, I mean these are friendlies. These are friendlies. Right. This is not even Nations League. This is the lowest of the low. So
it is Mexico. It is Mexico.
But it is Mexico tomorrow. And he played I mean the real, well, if you want to get into the, I mean, agreed. Everything you're saying obviously is true. These are early days. People are hurt. These are friendlies that are meaningless. The guy just showed up.
If it was a qualifier, he wouldn't send.
It'd be a whole other thing. So
I think because it's a friendly, he made the decision to help him out with the clubs. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I see where he's coming from. I'm fine with that. I think it's much more important for Pulley to play a strong 90 against Lazio, whoever they're playing on Saturday in the league.
Well, yeah, I
versus
mean, he
Burnley.
has to, because these people are often. I mean, Pulisic is doing quite well this year, so he's not currently in danger of losing his starting spot. But yeah,
No,
some
but
other
Fonseca's
people
in
there.
danger of losing his coaching job because Puli's doing well, but Milan's not doing well.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll let him take the
If you
penalty kick
wanted,
next week.
if you
How about
want to
that?
dig in, having said all this about this really just being early days and not meaning anything, if you wanna dig into the game though a little bit, I think the headline for me was Yunus Musa at right wing. That was
Yeah,
unexpected,
that was a little,
and that showed that he knows at least him quite well. I think they go back to I forget.
they never worked the same club together, so
They
I'm
know
waiting-
each other
waiting
though
with
from
fear for
they
that.
know each other from some, and he and Poch basically
From
said
where?
that Musa, like
Where
from
do they
the
know each other?
youth, there was some, I forget now, where when he was playing for
Let me Google.
Valencia. Anyway, this was something that I was surprised by because it didn't, like, from the early press conferences where he was like, yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that he said, and of course, he's just beginning, he doesn't want to give anything away. But a lot of the stuff he said sounded really generic, and I was like, yeah, he doesn't really even know these people. And so this was a very specific thing that was sort of surprising, how he was like, yeah, when Musa hasn't played a lot for Milan, and when he did play, according to Poch, he didn't look super comfortable in central midfield. That's been his spot for the national team. And I always kind of jokingly thought of Yunus Musa as the guy that they call in because they don't want to call in Keaton Parks, because he's been playing that spot, the kind of a ball secure advancer in the midfield, but not
That's also
not
what
in
he
this.
played for Valencia. Isn't that's his role or whatever?
Yeah, he was a central midfielder, but I guess somehow Poch knew it from a time where he was playing on the wing, where he was playing more in the, and so he gave him this spot, and it worked out. He scored that goal, and he looked really, really good. I mean, meanwhile, in the midfield we saw Gianluca Buzio and Aiden Morris, who I don't rate either of those guys particularly highly. I thought actually Buzio had some line breaking passes that I thought were effective, but I think neither of those guys. I mean, Buzio at least joined the office every once in a while. Aiden Morris contributed nothing to the build up as far as I could tell, and Musa. Musa had room and was a little bit further out, but was very, very instrumental to getting anything going offensively, and then scored the goal, which he was so happy about. Clearly,
Right. It's his first goal.
His first international goal. He said he felt a little cursed. He had a couple of opportunities that he couldn't convert. So I mean, just that alone was a feel good moment to witness, and props. And props to Poch of having that little touch, and helping somebody gain a little confidence who wasn't feeling probably at his best currently. So that's thumbs up for that.
Yeah, I like that. And in addition to that, yeah, because we're not short at right winger, so usually that's a position traditionally we've got a plethora of choices from. Even if you want to go crazy and put Serginho Dest up there, you can do that if he's healthy,
I mean, it's been Tim Weah usually.
Yeah, usually it's Tim Weah or Gio Reyna or Brendan Aronson. The other decision made was to put Brendan Aronson up top central. So we also have a new lineup. It's a 4-2-3-1. Hallelujah, by the way. I always hated our 4-3-3. So we're doing a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1 flex or something. But I think it's just like in the modern day. It's
those
a lot
are
of
so. I mean, very
it's a modern
very.
day with a lot of movement. So it doesn't.
It's
you can't really
very
boil it.
similar. Two very similar formations. Like,
But I'm a 4-2-3-1 man, and the 4-2-3-1 was Poli and Musa on the wings, left and right, and then Brendan Aronson as the 10 in the center.
and
With,
Josh
like you said, Aiden and
Sargent.
Gianluca Buzio behind.
Josh
with-
Sargent was the one. Yeah.
Right. And then from what I understand, so full disclosure, I was running around. I didn't look at this game as tightly as I wish I did.
Okay.
From what I understand, because I go online, apparently Josh Sargent got a lot of hate for this game. There's something up with Josh.
Well,
Sargent.
he had one big chance that he missed. I mean, yeah, it's I think
He hasn't scored for the U.S. in 5 years.
he hasn't, and he's been scoring a lot for Norton. I think it's he had this opportunity, obviously, to make that spot his spot, and he had a couple of opportunities, and he just didn't convert. I don't know if hate is appropriate. I mean, you're saying this was a
strong word, but,
this was an easy 2-0 win. This could have gone pear-shaped. Matt Turner had to make a double save late. Panama had some good looks towards the end, so this could have and the second Pepe goal was in stoppage time quite late. So this could have gone differently.
But good on Pepe.
It didn't. Yeah.
I feel Pepe.
Oh, and definitely
I'm a big Pepe fan. I'm a big Pepe fan.
It was a good finish. Yeah.
I'm a big Pepe fan, and rumors are, I need to look into this, Luke de Jong got himself quite the injury this past week, last weekend. At 34, finally, tough freaking time. Because Ricardo Pepe is scoring goals left and right. It's all trash minutes. He's just not getting starts. and I think his numbers, at least in Holland, he's scoring more goals with least minutes by far. And, he deserves to be playing more. Even here in the U.S., Josh Sargent gets the start over him. He has to come off the bench and get himself a trash minutes goal again. I'm hoping with Luke de Jong sidelined for a bit that Ricardo Pepe will get himself a string of some full 90s and start playing the way he deserves to be playing. And for crying out loud, own that spot. So when Luke de Jong comes back, he has to wait on the bench for a bit. Because, I don't know how bad his injury is. Like I said, it's just something I read online. But, I'm excited for Ricardo Pepe. I'd love for him to start getting more meaningful minutes. I think he deserves it. There was a period of time when he would, when he first came on the scene, he was a really exciting prospect and a great finisher. Then I think his time at Augsburg was rough and all that. But then when he went to Holland, it fixed him right up again. And I think he's back in great shape again. He's scoring up a storm. And I think if you had to ask, I think most people are Flo Balogun guys. I'm a Ricardo Pepe guy. I think I'm more.
Yeah, and Balogun is playing a little bit more now, but now he's hurt. So yeah, we'll the 9 is always
also,
right.
Flo Balogun's not scoring goals in his club.
Oh, he's scored a lot of goals. He's been great for the. Well, I guess everybody in your book, everybody gets the Berhalter deduction, but he was great for the national team generally.
He was fine, but for his club, he's
no. He hasn't been. He's part of the people struggling for a spot. Yeah, it's. No. But he's not the only one.
Yeah. But there you go. He's learning the players. Like you said, the Eunice Moose thing's a good sign. The Brendan Aronson thing's a good sign. He's learning the players. He's just he's figuring them out.
Yeah, and so and a lot of people missing. Yeah, and then also I guess a lot of people with little knocks that we didn't know about, like McKennie. I guess is now also going back.
Muscular.
Watke on Twitter was saying, I'm not going to quote him quite right, but I thought it was funny that Poch already knows that the way to get the most out of McKennie is to not have him be part of the project. And which is the story of McKinney's career is like that people try to get rid of him, and then he kind of convinces them otherwise. So that was funny, but I guess that was not it. He has a little knocks in that sense. There were just a lot of people missing. That midfield I was not impressed by.
Well, it'd be nice if we had a healthy Tyler Adams and a healthy Weston McKennie.
Well, I mean, the healthy Tyler Adams, we'll see if that ever will happen again. But
don't break my heart. It will happen again. He'll come back. He'll never get injured again. Believe. That's what the Columbus Day is all about. It's about miracles, Bjorn. Columbus Day is about belief.
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, well, that's about Indigenous People Day is anti-European. I'm trying to be pro-European because that's where our boys need to succeed.
Oh,
Tyler Adams.
You don't mean Columbus, not Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio is not This is
No.
not Columbus, Ohio Day. This is Euro Columbus Day.
Although Columbus, Ohio is crushing when it comes to American soccer. Now, there's Cristobal Colombo, I believe is his real name. I think Columbus is a Anglicization or whatever. Of our favorite Italian Jewish explorer, Cristobal Colombo,
Right.
who discovered America despite never setting foot in the country. He, anywho, we don't need to get into that. It's about belief. It's a miracle. And the miracle is we need a healthy Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie. But anywho, what I want to see is what I'm hoping is what we're seeing. Poch, great coaches, kind of like we see with the Hansi Flick. We see this with Bruce Arena as well. They're just player whisperers. Like the players need to excel under them, and that's all about relationships. It's all about psychology. And that's essentially what great head coaches are specialists at, in a kind of way that we as fans don't really understand. And what I'm hoping is that's what we're seeing. We're seeing Poch, like a horse whisperer, whispering in our players to make them the best they can be and support them in their club endeavors and just make them at the top of their game. So
well, he succeeded with Musa in this one.
Right.
Who are they gonna play tomorrow? Everybody went home. I guess.
Well,
this
is my favorite thing online. Because people didn't know. It was weird. The news report was very quick and very weird. Other people had to come in and add more context. Pretty much was just like Stefan, Pulisic, McKennie, I forgot. There were 3 or 4 were sent home. Oh, and Pepe, I think, was one of them. And that's like all it said. People were just like, did they do something wrong? Or they being
No.
And it came out. It's like, 5 of them are injured, and Pulisic to load management thing. He's supporting his, like you said, supporting his club endeavors, which is fine. I'll support them. It's a friendly, so that's fine. But someone online was like, Zach Steffen needs to go home and focus on the Colorado Rapids. Poch sent Steffen home because he has to focus on his Colorado Rapids postseason or something. Okay. I was just like, right. It could have been a joke.
Zach Steffen, that was an odd call in to begin with. But okay.
I would love the idea of Poch is like, the Europeans stay here, but who are the MLS guys? I'm sending you home early. You need to focus on the 34th round of MLS games. That's very, very important for you guys.
Pochettino is it lives in fear of Chris Armas. He just doesn't want to get on Chris Armas's bad side.
Yeah, because at Man United, he was one of the fiercest coaches.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But no, I think it was just Zach Steffen must have had a knock or something, which is what Zach Steffen's like. He's one of my favorite thing about American players is how fragile they all are. On Reddit today, there was a guy taking a picture with Christian Pulisic at the airport, and Christian Pulisic was in the line at like a burger place. And I was like, stop eating burgers, guys. I don't know. Stop eating Chipotle. God. Come on.
Oh, my God.
Your bones are brittle, boys.
The World Cup is on the line.
World Cup's on the line.
Food.
I can't wait. I should apply to be the nutritionist of U.S. soccer. It's like, do what I say, not what I do. Don't look at me. I'm going to go eat at McDonald's right now. But you guys can't follow me.
I'm not playing. You're playing.
Yeah. Brussels sprouts only, you guys. But anywho, yeah. So there you go. We have tomorrow will be a much more telling game against Mexico, like you said. Who are they playing? I don't know.
It's gonna suit up. Yeah, we're gonna see.
The others. Josh Sargent, maybe. Was Josh Sargent sent home?
They sent a lot of people home, and nobody. They didn't call anybody else back. I guess we can. I don't know. I mean, we could try to predict a lineup, but
yeah, here we go. Who's sent home? McKennie. Come on now. Should be. It's just Pulisic and McKennie and 4 others. There needs to be better journalism. It's easier for me to find. Just like
so CBS News has a predicted lineup of Matt Turner, Jerry Robinson, Reem McKenzie, Joe Scally, Musa, Aiden Morris. Oh, so I guess everybody's those guys are still there. Morris, Buzio, Haji Wright, Josh Sargent, Brendan Aronson. Okay, so those guys are still there.
There you go. That's fine. And then Musa on the right wing again.
I don't like this Morris Buzio midfield. If that's going to be a thing.
Wait a minute, Bjorn. Hold on. Is Pulley going back early, but Musa not going back early?
I think that's the case, according to CBS News. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Christian
Wonder if you're
Pulisic,
just-
Weston McKennie, Marlon Fossey, Ricardo Pepi, Zach Steffen. It's a
Right.
mixture
And
of
that-
load management and minor injuries.
Yeah,
And
I
so,
think the four of
yeah,
them all
so
have. Yeah. Fosse's injured. Pepe's injured. Apparently,
What do you
Pepe
make
got
of-
his head. Pepe
what
might
do
have
you
a
make
concussion.
of? Oh, that's not good. What do you
And Weston
make
McKennie has a serious
of-
muscular injury.
What do you make of Tim Ream being the captain?
Yeah.
Sort of odd, right? He's like 42 years old. He's only got like
No, he's not. Come on, he's
couple
39.
weeks left.
Whatever. How old is he? He's like 30. He was what? How old? He was 36 of the world. 37. How old is he?
I think
He's
he's
38 or
38.
something. All over that.
38, right?
He is 37. He
37.
was born
All
October
right.
5th. It was his birthday last week. He turned 37 last week.
Oh, well, spring chicken.
Well, if you can still, I mean, you're right. We should be looking. It's what, a year and a half. So, and Tim Ream himself said it out loud. I guess he's thankful he's there. He's a little surprised. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
Pulisic's been the captain. Why the change?
Oh, you mean on Panama, Tim Ream had the band and Pulley didn't?
Yeah.
Well, that's been a rotation. Tyler Adams was the captain. That was a rotation thing. I think the captain's armband was always under Greg. It was a rotation thing. Right?
Okay.
So, but Tim
I
Ream's
guess
the
I
most
don't know.
veteran player, I guess, and
He definitely is veteran.
yeah, he's a good leader. He's a good dude.
He's as
apparently.
veteran as it gets. No, Tim Ream's. I mean, I'm not knocking.
I listen to his podcast. What I love about we live in an era of podcasts, so I can really get into the mindset of our players, psychologically analyze them on a week.
What's the mindset of Tim Ream?
Well,
He
he's
seems-
just a very reasonable dude.
Yeah, he seems
you
like
know?
a cool guy. The
Yeah,
Yankees
so-
won game 1 of the ALCS
Against the Guardians, right?
against the Cleveland Guardians, 5-2.
Ah,
Yankees win! Oh, that was terrible.
No, that's great. You gotta do that.
impression.
Who's that supposed to be?
Michael Kay, or who was the guy?
I say, it sounds like Ray Romano.
Sterling. The Sterling.
Romano? That was Ray Romano.
No,
But,
I think it was Sterling.
I believe the
Radio.
Cleveland Guardians are called that because of Christopher Columbus, right? Isn't he kind of indirectly related? That's why it's called the Cleveland
What?
Guardians.
The
these days.
Cleveland Guardians.
They used to have a
That-
different name back in my day. I don't know. If you
The
remember.
Indians. Yeah, that's not considered nice.
Yeah, and then in the stadium they did the chop.
Yeah, and they had the low. Yeah, I mean, you could see how that's how Native Americans were not into that. That makes sense.
They were not. They were none on the board. They were not consulted in the branding of that. I don't think.
So,
Unfortunately.
so that now they're the Guardians. That's fine.
And the Guardians are gonna guard the pennant. When was the last time the LA Dodgers won the World Series? You remember?
A couple years ago, right? Under
Was it recent?
Dave was yeah.
I remember the
I
last
couldn't,
World
couldn't
Series.
give you the exact. I'm gonna say 2021. I don't know.
That's recent. I the last World Series I really invested in was when the Mets played the Royals. I think and that would have already been 5 or 6 years ago at this point. I think. And the Mets won that one, right? Or am I wrong?
2020 was the last time the Dodgers won the World Series.
Is that? Oh, that was COVID or whatever. What was that?
COVID. Yeah.
How was baseball doing? Was it just empty stadiums or what?
Mostly, yeah, in a shortened season. Yeah, but
They didn't do an
Dodgers won.
MLS is back in Orlando in a giant bubble.
No, they didn't do the bubble thing.
God,
Well, in
thank
baseball,
God.
people
Oh, well.
generally stand fairly far apart.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't need breath capacity. They're not running or anything. Anywho, good on the Yankees. I'm rooting for a Mets Yankees World Series. How about you?
Mets, yeah, sure. I mean, we've got stadium problems, right? Like NYCFC.
And I want them to be
We need
bigger
a-
and better. You know my dream. You know
We
my
need
dream.
a stadium. Yeah, but your dream. Yeah, I think we talked about this last week. I think by my math, Citi Field should be available for us, especially since we're not gonna host game one.
Simulcast. When a game is in one stadium, the bench is at the other. Like they don't. They're just warming up. And when it's time to come in, they hop on the subway and get up over before the seventh
So
inning.
it's actually a Subway series. Yeah.
It's a literal Subway series.
Mm-hmm.
They have webcams on the subways, so they cut out of the game to check into Sammy Sosa.
Nobody can take a car ever anywhere. You always gotta
No.
take the
No,
subway.
the traffic? Kidding me? The traffic? No. That would be a real Subway series. Yankees Mets, and they cut on the Subway. They cut on the 6 train to see how. I'm gonna come up with who I think is the most modern.
The bullpen is in the other. So if a relief pitcher comes in, we're gonna have to wait a few minutes because he's gonna be on the train.
I'm gonna try to come up with the most. I'm pretty with it. I'm trying to come up with the most recent baseball player I can remember. They're gonna cut on the train. They're gonna see footage of shoeless Joe Jackson there, warming up his
big baseball guy.
Warm his arms, get ready. Sammy Sosa will be there. Mark McGuire's there.
You only watch baseball when people were juiced. I see. All right, you enjoyed the steroids.
John Kruk,
you were a
Barry
fan.
Bonds.
You were a fan in the steroid era. Okay.
I have witnessed Barry Bonds hit a home run live. Hopefully, it was the pre-juiced era. I don't know.
Okay.
It would have been 1995 when I saw this.
All right.
So.
I'm not. I'm not
He
one
was
to.
smaller back then.
I'm not one to point fingers.
On Netflix, there's a
accuse
documentary
people.
about the. On Netflix, the documentary about the baseball steroid thing, and it's so good. It's really stylized.
It's called Juiced, right?
Is it? Is it the one where it cuts to all the adults are played by 12-year-olds? Have you seen it?
What? No, I don't. I haven't seen it.
There's a documentary about the Florida steroid scandal and the steroid doctor and all. It's typical Florida. It's such a great documentary. Because it's typical Florida in that, like, Florida has no laws. So it's just like, yeah, we'll open a steroid place here. There's no police here. And, like, Aaron Hernandez painted as, like, a mob boss. And pretty much they do all the reenactments. You know, documentaries have to do reenactments. This documentary made this artistic choice to have it be all
12-year-old. That's pretty funny.
Mustaches and big mustaches.
Oh, that's
and they
good.
act
That's
really confident. Like they act like, you know, it's just so funny. I was like, well done. So you hear the real people speak, but then on screen it's a 12-year-old speaking and like with Aaron Hernandez's voice with a big mustache. It's very, very funny. I highly recommend.
Well, that's also it's also point. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it also sounds like it's poignant because, you know, that's always the argument. Because some people say like, oh, well, just let them do whatever they want. But that's the counter argument. Like if you have a child that's talented in baseball, is that what?
Yeah, I'm against sports enhancing drugs all across the board. That's why I look down on Diego Maradona. Everyone's like he's the greatest player of all time. It's like he was doped up during all of his titles. It's like he was. I don't know. I'm not as high on Diego Maradona as other people are.
All right. Well,
I mean, you know, was Lothar Matthäus doped up when he was matching Maradona? I mean, maybe, but I hope not.
Matthäus, by the way, I looked this up. Matthäus was on the '98 squad. Bremer was not.
Right.
Matthäus was.
He was 39.
Matthäus
was on the Euro 2000 squad.
It's not right.
Terrible. Right before he joined the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. Yeah, Johan Klinsmann retired and all that. Yeah, the '98 squad was my first Germany experience, and it was like the oldest squad they ever had.
It's pretty rough too.
Rough time, but it was a great way for me to see them all past their prime.
Quarterfinals against Bulgaria, yeah. Oh no,
no,
not Bulgaria. Croatia. Bulgaria was '94. Croatia was '98. '98 was my first World Cup in the U.S., and I was like, oh, nobody cares. I see.
It's funny you have that experience. I watched it in the U.S. too, and yeah, you're right. It wasn't like it is now, but they were on ESPN, and I was watching it every day before. It was like, at least in our household, it was a big deal, I guess. And I also was on a Florida beach resort with a lot of internationals, so maybe I was just in the right place, I guess.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I also watched the first half of that in Brazil. And when Brazil played Scotland, my dad was sent home early from work because Brazil World Cup game was like a national holiday.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it was a very different experience. My dad came home. He's like, yeah, they sent us home because we have to watch the Brazil game. So I watched Brazil-Scotland with the toothless Craig Burley being smoked by OG Ronaldo. Yeah, no, that was that France '98 was for me it was like my first kiss. So it's like I remember it very vividly, even though it does not go down in the history books as one of the more memorable World Cups. You know, it was France's first win, and Thierry Henry was and
Zidane, sure.
Yeah, but like if you had to rank World Cups, '98 never makes like top 5 or top 10.
Oh, yeah.
I guess when I
Well,
rank.
you always remember your first.
That's right. And then 2002 will always be memorable to me because of the officiating. And there's a lot of other fun stuff about
Well,
it. But overall,
2002. Well, yeah, that was a whole other.
anywho,
We had 2 MLS games this weekend. Vancouver lost to LAFC, and the Columbus Crew beat New England. Caleb Porter has one more week in his job.
so here's something fun about New England, Bjorn.
Okay.
The only thing standing in the way of Inter Miami's points record is the New England Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who currently holds the points record of MLS regular
The
season?
New England Revolution.
Bingo.
So
So
they
the New
won
England
it in
Revolution
2021, but we won but NYCFC won the.
That's not part of the
MLS Cup.
story.
Yeah, it is. It's
no,
very
that's not
much
part of
part
it.
of the story.
That's not
But
part
okay.
of what I'm talking about.
All right.
I'm talking
Well,
about.
that's why I'm here as well.
But it actually makes that game interesting, right? Like the New England Revolution do have something to play for now. Like they're limited, like they're second to last place or whatever. But they need to tie Miami to preserve their record. So there's a chance that they will put forth effort in that game against Miami. So
nobody gives a shit about the points record.
yeah, you're right. I guess I'm trying to make it a little
Doesn't
more
matter.
exciting. Yeah, the West is done. In the East, the New York Rebels. It's very likely It's very likely the New York Rebels are gonna play the first of 4 games against the Columbus Crew in a row. And in the history of soccer, I can't think of any other circumstance other than MLS where teams play each other 4 times in a row. 2 times, maybe 3 times, but never 4 times. That's
You're hoping it's going to be 4 times. That means you're going to win one.
Yeah. Hey, maybe 2. So we'll see. But I'm hoping for Cincinnati. Pretty much Charlotte and us are fighting to play Columbus or Cincinnati now, and one of us definitely hopes it's Cincinnati.
Well, we could too if we we're still in that mix.
If we win by a lot,
We are not. You're not gonna pass us, but you're gonna. I mean, you're probably gonna be 7th.
Yeah, we're up for 6 or 7 between us and Charlotte. You're 5th.
You're we're 5th, but we could fall behind to 6, and that's when we would play Cincinnati. We could be 4, 5, or 6. 4 is unlikely. Orlando would have to lose, and we would have to win. And we're playing in Montreal, and they still need a point to make the playoffs themselves.
4th or 5th, yeah, Montreal is playing with real motivation because they're on the outside looking in, I think, right? And or at least they're 9th or something. But the real thing is you're because even if you're 4th or 5th, that means you play Orlando either way. And then
if we're 4th or 5th, right? But if we're 6th, we're gonna play Cincinnati.
So you're looking at Orlando or Cincinnati. I'm looking at Columbus or Cincinnati. That's essentially what we're looking at.
That's correct.
And both of us want Cincinnati, right? That's what we're both going for.
I mean, Orlando's been pretty hot, so yeah, probably. But it's not in our control. Even if we lose, Charlotte has to win.
Right. So the New York teams are fighting over Cincy. That's the story of the last week of MLS. We'll see. We'll see how the cookie crumbles. I predict it will crumble poorly, and I think we're just gonna get Columbus for the rest of the season. Columbus is all we got now.
It's going to be Columbus till you die.
Columbus Day, Columbus Crew. All right. That's been USA Soccer Hour.
What a pleasure.
Just the Poch era begins. The Poch era.
What a dream. What a treat. What a dream. What a time to be alive.
Yeah. Well, you're very doubtful. You're always my bogey. Because you're all about how Greg being the greatest coach.
I am no. This makes me. You're saying that to upset me. I think Greg Berhalter is a B-, a B- coach. I don't think he's the greatest coach ever. I think.
Yeah, but you're also. But you've said very loud, very clearly that like you do not feel this Poch era is gonna.
I didn't say that either. I think.
Yeah, you said you had a bad feeling about the Poch era.
I don't have a bad. Well, all right. I think the players are the players, and they're not. They're not that good. So we'll see.
All right. We will see. You will see them perform exactly the same as they've been performing the last 6 years.
We'll see what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. Tomorrow, it's tomorrow, right? The next game.
Mexico.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. We'll see.
I'm
We'll
not,
see what Haji Wright. We'll see what Haji Wright. We'll see what Haji Wright can do to the.
If this Buzio Morris midfield takes, I'm gonna stop watching.
Maybe they'll come in. Maybe it'll be Keaton Parks, Jimmy Sands.
Yeah, that's
Stay on
right.
replacement.
That's right.
We'll see.
That's what I'm talking about.
We'll see. All right, let's go USA.
All right.
Bye bye.
Good night.